was a bit of a character. My dad is very Jim Carrey-esque, so it was a lot of goofing around and joking in my household. And I kind of took on a little bit of that. I can be completely ridiculous at times and just goofy and off the wall.
It's a weird funny, but you're definitely laughing a lot of the time.
But at other times I'm really sarcastic and kind of mean and more on like the witty, dry humor side.
Sarcastic.
Paige is sarcastic.
Growing up, I also was into performing. I would perform for my parents all the time. I'd be like, look at me, I'm a princess, watch me twirl, or whatever character I was that day.
Paige can have fun doing anything, I think, which is an important quality in most industries.
Doesn't take herself too seriously.
Very important.
And by too seriously, I mean like not seriously at all.
If I had to describe myself to someone else, I'd probably say that I'm talkative.
If I was to describe Paige to another person, I would probably describe her as spunky. Spunky, sure.
Outgoing, friendly, positive attitude.
She's very outgoing.
Very studious.
She's very smart.
Always quoting stuff from movies.
Paige is funny.
Pretty decisive about what she wants.
Very pretty. Very good at what she chooses to do. What she chooses to work hard on.
Anyone who knows me well knows the story of Dragonheart.
She's not very emotional, in most situations, except for when watching the movie Dragonheart.
Didn't think she was watching the movie.
About half an hour in, I just kind of stopped and started watching the movie. My parents didn't notice because I was just on the floor doing whatever. Being quiet, that's all they cared about.
And when the dragon died, she started sobbing uncontrollably.
Bawling. Sobbing, weeping, tears just running down my face.
She cries every time.
And this is a child who never cried, so you knew something was up.
It's not like little, tears running down the face. It's like racking sobs. Just like crying over this poor, sad, dying dragon.
Disgusting. Snot and everywhere. Just gross.
There was also the Jim Carrey movies. And I went through that with her half-brother and her, where they were talking with their bum for a week around the house.
That was kind of like a big clue to me, looking back on it, that I really fell in love with characters. Like any movie I watched when I was little, I would fall in love with the characters, and I was able to watch it over and over because I loved these characters so much. Like Balto and Hercules and The Lion King, obviously cartoon movies, but I also fell in love with The Princess Bride when I was younger, and Dragonheart clearly. And I loved the story, but I loved the characters more. I still find that I question the motivations behind what they do and why they are who they are and what's their backstory. And I've always been really intrigued with that, and that kind of ties into my whole acting thing. I loved characters. I love portraying one. I love developing one. I love anything to do with that. It gets me so excited. I love telling a story that has great characters or has a phenomenal character arc, and it's so wonderful. It's why I'm here, essentially, is to tell a story, but to give people characters they can connect to or don't connect to and see how they change and develop and morph into this entirely new thing, and how dynamic humans are in general. And it doesn't even have to be humans. It could be dogs. It could be like an animated movie. Just to see how things affect people and how they handle it. I find it really interesting, the psychology of it all and how it can be portrayed on film and the situations that arise, and you can show people and how they deal with it.
She's going to do well in the film industry because she's balls to the wall all the time. You get her done. That's how I feel it is. It's oh, Paige, want to hang out? Nope, I'm going to spend the next 36 hours, dying, but it's going to be awesome. Balls to the wall. Balls to the wall.
And it's wonderful. I love it. I'm getting so excited just talking about it.